I've been long overdue for a new blanket, particularly a larger Sherpa one to accommodate my height and better retain heat in these bitter, cold New England winters. I could have walked into a Target or something when I was on my way back from the Museum of Fine Arts last week, and I know there are at least two near different subway stops, but then I'd have had to carry it all the way home on the subway and bus, or train if it's the weekend. Instead, I got home, went on Amazon, checked reviews to assess heat retention, and tracked down one suited to my height that would arrive the next day, and ordered it after ensuring it was within my budget. And the next morning, it arrived. That night, I got to sleep warmer in a good way. All of this was thanks to the modern world, something doomers love to complain about. Only in the modern world could I order a blanket I needed to arrive the next morning after assessing its size, the general consensus from Rufus AI on the heat retention I needed, and plugging the post sales tax price into my weekly spending budget to make sure it fit my budget. Only in the modern world could it arrive the morning after, so I could start using it that night. People put buying in store on a pedestal, and I certainly see value with in store shopping as someone who frequents the city. I value being able to go to the CVS at South Station to pick up snacks for when I get home, or to go into the Causeway Street Star Market like I did on Saturday morning to pass the time while it was too cold to take an extended walk around the park across from the Museum of Science before it opened. I eventually bought hand warmers because of the big snowstorm that's about to arrive as I record this, and carried those with me for the rest of the day, which is useful because if I'd ordered on Amazon at that exact time, who knows if they'd have arrived in time. And if they did, if I could have gotten them that fast for that price, whether I had to pay the same day fee or purchase way more stuff to qualify for same day with zero fee. Another beautiful aspect of the modern world are loyalty programs. I did a video last year crapping on non-grocery ones, but I have since changed my mind from that doomer light mentality, because if you narrow it down to a few places, then you can get good value long term. Amazon Prime is actually my least favorite because you don't get cash back or reward points, except in the occasional form of digital reward credits for choosing No Rush or Amazon Day, which isn't always offered and has no pattern I've been able to distinguish. I generally use it for sending Christmas presents in December and birthday presents all year long, with gift wrap options for a small fee. Star Market and CVS have great loyalty programs on the free tier on account of the fact you can accumulate points towards specific items or X dollars discounts, and these were things I was going to buy no matter what. Outside of those, I've sung the praises of AMC A-List, and I've mentioned the McDonald's rewards program through the app, which doesn't make you an asshole like what Jack Morgan claims. Dunkin' is also an essential here in New England, though with the South Station McDonald's back up and running despite the Jeffy's bad word story, I'm considering more breakfasts there because the burrito meal was pretty good, though I'll have to try a larger amount of caramel syrup for the coffee. But burritos are something Dunkin' doesn't offer, so there's that. Sal's Pizza and a couple local places make for more options, but honestly, I'd be content with the ones I've named directly. The apps make for a great way to place mobile orders and get them sooner, or redeem points, which I hoard for strategic use. Like last Friday, I used half my total points to get a full meal at Dunkin' in the form of a large iced coffee, a sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich on a croissant, and hash browns. I prefer to describe it as trading points for food instead of having to pay with money, because it took paying for the prior orders to make it possible. Therefore, it's not technically free. Such apps also let me easily book and change my movie tickets on a whim, based on Movie Scout's reviews and how much museum or aquarium time I want, or which location I want to see it at. If using such apps, McDonald's or otherwise, makes me an asshole in Jack Morgan's eyes, then I guess I'm the biggest asshole on earth, and proud of it. Now, that's no excuse to eliminate in person options or walk in choices, whether it's a restaurant or a store. I've heard doomers complain about things like McDonald's dining room shrinking, which I personally noticed when I went to this one I hadn't been to in 8 years in October 2024. I also noticed the kiosks effectively replaced the cashiers. I had to select my soda on said kiosk instead of ordering a meal, receiving a cup for it from a human being, and filling it and refilling it to my heart's content, because the soda fountain was no longer self serve. I personally don't care one way or the other, because at the end of the day, moderating soda intake might not be such a bad idea. A small concession I'm willing to make is that food delivery like DoorDash, Grubhub, etc. are kind of unnecessary, even if they're still useful, which is why I'll never say, the sky is falling because people can order food deliveries from any restaurant they can think of. Maybe I'm just too outgoing now, but I don't think delivery fees are worth it for that. Even smaller ones from local pizza places with their own delivery system. I almost did that when I had to stay home, but the delivery minimum and fees compared to going in person made me say, no, I don't think I will. I think for when you're home and don't want to cook, you're better off getting freezer aisle items to throw in the toaster oven or microwave. Adding a frozen pizza to your cart to make for dinner later, or save in your freezer for a rainy day, or a snowy day in the case of this week, makes more sense to me because the odds of it being in a good state are significantly higher, and it's cheaper if you're one person. I can understand if you're a group of friends at someone's place, the delivery fees aren't a big deal, especially if you split the cost. But when it's just yourself, it's a waste of money. Oh, the tip. I forgot about the tip. Yeah, you effectively do have to tip. I mean, technically, you don't have to, but there is going to be the underlying pressure for that. So, yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. Tipping culture. Am I right? Seriously, though, I think there's a valid place for food delivery like that, but it doesn't fit into my life. Usually because I can get it for a better price out and about. And when I'm home, freezer items are the smarter option. I'll also concede subscriptions, at least those that make less sense than the Chewbacca defense. As I've previously said on this channel, subscriptions for heated BMW seats are dumb because the hardware is physically present, but streaming services make sense because they offer a large catalog of content, with the trade off from paying for indefinite access being you have to keep paying and let go of control. I can get behind allowing for more frequent and higher quality updates when it comes to software as a subscription, if that's what's actually happening, as well as memberships like my beloved A-List, Museum of Science, Museum of Fine Arts, and New England Aquarium. Those all provide way more value in the long run for frequent usage compared to the one-time admission cost. Within their respective durations of a month for A-List or a year for the other three places, You need only use them 3 times to exceed your money's worth. I've already gotten my money's worth for the most recent addition to my roster, the Museum of Fine Arts, and will exceed it on my next visit. I also get my money's worth for Amazon Prime from just the Christmas presents I order every year, and make use of it all year long with sending birthday presents. Plus, things I need for myself, like the blanket that got me thinking about this. $90 a month for unlimited subway and bus trips makes sense if you live and or work in the city and use it multiple times a day. But not if you come in mostly on weekends and the occasional weekday. Last week was an anomaly when I went in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and bought a 7-day pass the Saturday before. I got more than double my money's worth for those days, plus the Sunday, all the way up to half an hour before it expired the following Saturday yesterday. Subscription models have their place in frequent transit trips and other experiences like seeing movies at the theater or going to the museums, depending on your needs and wants. Like I said, I'll concede subscriptions as a flaw in the modern world, but only for the dumbest of examples like the BMW heated seats. Going back to the blanket story, I could probably have found one on my own if I'd gone to one of the Targets within range of the subway, or gotten a ride to somewhere else out in the suburbs to buy one, or rather, explore the store and hope they had one that fit my needs. Instead, I placed an order and opted for a delivery window that worked for me, ending with it arriving, me opening it up, and getting a warm night's sleep. All of that was thanks to the modern world, which is a wonderful place. It has flaws like any timeline would, but the positives of rapid deliveries, loyalty programs where you can get discounts at a later date, and other advances in medicine and technology all far outweigh the negatives of high delivery fees on food ordering services that aren't worth it for one person in my book. Changes like the McDonald's soda fountain moving behind the counter, and something I forgot to mention because I already touched on it recently and want to talk more about on its own, mandatory car ownership in areas outside of a major city. We still have a ways to go because there's no such thing as the perfect time. My personal pet peeves are the mandatory car ownership I just mentioned, and subscriptions that do not make sense. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure to like the video if I helped you appreciate the present as the gift Master Oogway described it as in Kung Fu Panda, or dislike it if you truly believe we live in a cyberpunk dystopia. Just don't forget to leave a mean comment saying as much. Or, if you liked the video, why not comment, "The modern world is a gift," so I know you made it to the end. Or any examples of the modern world's greatness I overlooked. Finally, subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.